today's episode, we're going to talk about the ease of use of handheld LIBS. We'll talk about how that compares to some other similar technologies and why I think this technology is pretty darn good. Let's get right into it. All right, first things first. Let's say we're picking up this unit for the first time in a day. The first thing I'm going to do is verify that this unit is working correctly. So it's real easy to do. So the first thing I do is I have a flexible tip swab. I'm going to push that right up into the area where the laser is. You can see that up there, and pull it out. Now my unit should be clean. By the way, this is protected with tempered glass down here. There's no soft polymer material like you might see with an XRF. So next, we're going to verify that the sample is working correctly. So I've already got the unit in system check mode. Okay, you can see that. Now I'm going to take my sample. Now this is a 316 and 7075 check sample. And I'm going to approach that with the analyzer. I'll show you the screen here so we can do this live. Okay, and now I'm going to do that analysis. It takes about 2 seconds to do. And pass. 316, 100% match. That's logged in the system. I'm actually still using my hands. And keep in mind, you can do this with handheld LIBS. This is not something I would like you to repeat if you're using an XRF. All right, the next thing we need to cover with handheld LIBS is ease of use, because many of you may be familiar with other technologies out there. This is probably a lot easier to use than what you might typically find on the market today. The first thing is we've got a flippable screen. So whether you're testing horizontally, the screen's facing towards you. If you're testing downwards, you can face the screen up and have it face you at all times. I've got a touch screen here. That's nice. I have redundant buttons. So the touch screen's nice, but in safety focused cultures of today, what we want to do is we want to use these redundant buttons because we're likely going to be wearing big gloves. These are sealed buttons. There's actually a camera button on here. Pretty easy to use. I can use either or. There's also down here we've got a couple buttons. So these are just electrodes, by the way, for where the unit is charged. But I've got buttons that are programmable here as hotkeys on either side that lets you do things very quickly. And then also the trigger down here, and you can see how smooth that looks. Okay, fits real nicely in my hand. If I was going to do a test, pressing the trigger one time turns the unit on, pressing the trigger again cancels. Not only is this unit really lightweight, but this unit's very ergonomic. So in order to get into tight spaces, you need a nice nose that is wide enough to mate up to the sample surface, but at the same time long and slender and narrow enough. And the KT100S by Rigaku does a great job of having just about the right profile to get into most areas. You'll also notice that the angle of this handle here, I should say, is slightly angled backwards. That makes this very ergonomic. So in my hands, it actually feels very easy to use. My finger naturally goes to where the trigger is. The side of my finger goes right over that button here, that hotkey button we talked about. I mean, really great design. And lastly, at the end of the day, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the data from this unit and put it onto a PC. You can log in right to this unit. You don't need any cumbersome software package, so it goes right to the browser, and then you can pull off any PDFs or spreadsheets of all the data you've taken. And that includes, by the way, PDFs with a picture on them. So in today's episode, we covered ease of use and ergonomics, two very basic things that should be inherent and intuitive. And hopefully you could see from this video that most of what you can do with handheld LIBS is intuitive. And if you're using other technologies, whether that's benchtops or XRFs or other types of equipment out there, semi-portable, things like that, that this technology is very intuitive, very easy to use, and provides a very nice modern solution for handheld metal analysis. Thanks again for tuning in today. We'll see you guys next week.